Welcome back to David 360. My people, buckle up because this conversation is about to get heated. This isn't just politics. This is about who we are as a nation. Ghana just said yes to saying something Nigeria reportedly said no to. And now the whole country is asking, why us? Why Ghana? President Mahama. President John Mahama has once again accepted deportees from the United States, and Ghanaians are divided. On paper, this is just another international arrangement. Every country takes back its own citizens. But let's be honest, these are not Ghanaian citizens. These are not Ghanaian citizens. So why are we taking them in, my people? Look, the political, economic, and social implications are anything but simple. This isn't just a story about planes landing with deportees. It's about how Ghana positions itself on a global stage, how we handle national security, and whether our leaders are prioritizing diplomacy over the safety and stability of ordinary citizens. When other nations are saying no, Ghana has become the fourth African country to say yes. Did they bow to pressure from Washington?
It's about Ghana-US relations. First, we were slapped with 10% tariff that was increased to 15%. And then we're included in 36 countries that were going to be placed on a visa ban. But in the meantime, all 5-year visas were cancelled, and we were restricted to single entry 3 months. It shows the tightening situation in our foreign relations, but I do think that we still enjoy good relations with the United States of America. We were approached by the US to accept third-party nationals who were being removed from the US. And we agreed with them that West African nationals, were acceptable because all our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from US to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. Several of them were our Nigerian brothers. They opted to go back home, and so we put them on buses, to be able to go back home. One of them was a Gambian who it's not as easy. You have to get him an air ticket to be able to facilitate his travel. So what we've done is contacted their embassy to let them know of his presence so that they can facilitate his return to Gambia. And so that's the issue with regards to deportations and arrivals. West Africa has the protocol of free movement, and so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, we don't have a problem accepting them.
What actually happened? Let's look at the breakdown. You see, Ghana has signed and activated an agreement with the US to receive West African deportees. The first batch that came into the country were 14 individuals, and as you know, most were Nigerians, and Ghana facilitated their return home when their own country said no. Ghana facilitated their return home, even providing buses to send them safely back to Nigeria. One deportee was a Gambian, and Ghana contacted the Gambian embassy to fly him back. My people, government maintains that this is no big deal because ECOWAS protocols. These protocols already allow West Africans to stay in Ghana for up to 90 days without a visa. But what are the implications? So far, it sounds very diplomatic, very orderly. But this is Ghana in 2025, and nothing is ever that simple. Did you know the political earthquake that this has caused? My people, let's be real. Ghanaians are asking tough questions right now. Social media is exploding. Talk radio is on fire. And critics are framing this as a national embarrassment. Here's why the backlash is so loud. 1. Security concerns. Are these deportees being screened? Are there criminal records involved? One may ask. The US doesn't deport people at random. Many of them are sent home after serving sentences. Are we just absorbing them into our already overstretched system without a reintegration or monitoring plan? 2. Public perception. Ghanaians are already anxious about rising crime, cyber fraud, Sakawa, 419, and clashes with Nigerian nationals in trade and business. And bringing back more people, some with criminal backgrounds, could easily stoke more fear and xenophobia. 3. Economic strain. Let's not pretend. Ghana's economy is on its knees. Inflation is eating salaries. Youth employment is near record highs. And the city still struggling, even though we claim it's stable against the US dollar. So why are we spending taxpayer money to bus people around and facilitate deportations that aren't even about our own citizens? Why did Ghana agree when other African nations reportedly refused? Is this Ghana being the good student for Washington? Or are we just too afraid to say no? And what exactly did we get in return that, Mr. President, you are not sharing with us? Is it trade deals, investments, or visa waivers? Or just a handshake and a press release? This is so disturbing. Let's look at it from an election year angle. This is where things get politically dangerous. President Mahama is already campaigning on a message of stability and international credibility. You see. So if you're already accepting hardened criminals from other African nations, what are we saying? But even if one of these deportees ends up in a headline for a violent crime, we can bet the opposition will use it as an ammunition. Boldly, Mahama imports criminals into Ghana. Ghana is already experiencing tension between locals and foreigners over galamsey, illegal mining, markets, and business ownership. This move even could easily trigger more nationalist anger. And Mahama's opponents will not waste the opportunity to paint him as out of touch with the ordinary Ghanaian. Now let's look at the bigger picture. This is not just about 14 people. This is about Ghana's identity, Ghana's dignity, and Ghana's future. This is about how Ghana negotiates with powerful nations like the US, how we balance diplomacy with local realities. This is about whether our government is prioritizing national security or playing international politics. And let's be honest, my people, the optics aren't great. Right now, it looks like Ghana is willing to clean up a mess that other countries won't touch. This is David 360. One might say, Ghana cannot just say yes without a plan. We need a reintegration program, jobs, counseling, so deportees don't end up adding to unemployment and crime stats. We need transparency. What exactly was agreed with Washington? Is there funding attached? Is this part of a bigger trade or security deal? Ghanaians deserve to know what we are getting in return. We need leadership. Look, the president must get ahead of the story, explain to citizens why this was necessary and how it benefits Ghana. Otherwise, the narrative will be written by angry callers on radio and political rivals. Because right now, it feels like Ghana is just too eager to say yes to the West. And if we are not careful, this could redefine how we are treated by powerful nations going forward. if we are not very careful. The big question that no one is asking, was this a diplomatic negotiation or a diplomatic demand from the US? Was the total number of deportees Ghana is expected to receive under this deal? How much is this costing taxpayers? What safeguards are in place to monitor and support deportees once they return? Are we setting a precedent for Ghana to be the first stop for all West African deportees from the US? These are hard questions we need to ask ourselves. Are we doing ourselves good or harm? This is David, and we're looking at it from the 360 style. This isn't over. The story isn't over. It's just getting started, my people. President Mahama has put Ghana on a path that could either strengthen our global reputation as a reliable partner or blow up in our faces if crime takes spike or social tensions flare. So Ghana, I am asking you, are we being good neighbors or just being used? Are we being good neighbors or we are just being used by the West? Are we showing diplomatic strength or just saying yes because we are afraid to say no? Because one thing is clear, the world is watching, the opposition is watching, and every Ghanaian has a stake in what happens next. This is what we are asking at David 360. What is in this deal for Ghanaians, Mr. President? Thank you for staying with us. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, kindly hit on the subscribe button and press on the notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I upload a video. And until I come your way again, God bless you.